SEO this week. Hey everyone, episode number 66, I think it is. Holy mackerel. I missed a couple of weeks because we were doing some work on an app. We're actually building a web app that'll transfer into a mobile app. It was pretty cool. However, we were so crazy behind on this project that we kind of had to knuckle down for 2 weeks. So I apologize. With that being said, there's a lot of interesting things to talk about in the SEO world. And mainly it is the mobile first index. That's a big deal right now. And then the indexing in general for backlinks, or for any links for that matter, that we're having issues with. Probably going on a month that we were having problems. And I think supposedly the rumor has it that it's kind of back to normal and Google is fixing things. But we'll see. If you don't know what we're talking about, in that matter, it was you could normally submit. Actually, let me just share the screen. Let's go ahead and do it. Do it now. Share the screen. We'll share this one. All right, so you can go to Google URL submit. We're using this one to actually resubmit our changes. So just like you would do in fetch and render, you go into fetch and render. After you make some changes, you tell it to crawl it, and then you can resubmit it to index. And Google typically was updating in like 30 minutes, especially for on-page stuff. And then also, obviously, there's people that were using this to submit their backlinks. I did it as a matter of course. All of our tier ones, if it's worthy enough to go to our site, we think it's worthy enough to be submitted to Google. So we used, we typically use software, whereas my link builders will add this manually. Manually just kind of works better, for us. And then, what you're looking at is probably within 24 hours, your backlinks are indexed. But what happened was they were making some changes at the data centers, I'm assuming, because there was a data center issue that we found as well. But they were making some changes, and URLs were not getting indexed. Or you could submit them here on the West Coast. The data centers in the East Coast would show them as indexed, but the data centers on the West Coast would not. Even so much as the data centers like in Dallas, for instance, would see stuff that was indexed to them, but people on the West Coast and the East Coast wouldn't see that, wouldn't see those either. So it became quite a pain in the butt to figure out what the heck was going on with those. So supposedly there's a story out now that has been addressed and that this thing is working again. I really do hope it is, because like I said, when we make changes and we're doing the on-page stuff, I like the ability to see that right away. See the fruits of your labor, as it were, versus, the backlinks. We know that it's going to take 21 days. We get it. Backlinks are important. However, Google doesn't want us to see the results right off the bat, so we don't know. We can't engineer which ones are better and which ones are worse. I get it. But being able to see that on-page stuff was nice. And hopefully this does come back to working, in a 30-minute time frame instead of a week, because a week is a long time to wait for an on-page change to see if there's an effect. But at the end of the day, I think it's probably going to settle out here soon, crossing fingers. And then I did mention that mobile first index thing. What that was is, back in the day, we were all talking, and Google announced they're going to do a mobile first index, and everyone assumed it was going to be mobile index and then a desktop index. As a matter of fact, I think even the Google reps were at the time pitching that idea. And I thought correctly, obviously, that it was dumb. And the reason it's dumb is you're wasting your resources. You're essentially saying, hey, we're going to crawl the internet twice and make 2 separate indexes and double down on the data sources that we have. They're collecting a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really see them making 2 separate search indexes. And in that case, that's exactly what happened. So now what they're doing is crawling your mobile version first, making sure you got it, and then they'll put you in the index, and then they'll go back or at that same time, make sure you have the desktop version. And really, that's just, that's probably better for mobile users that are accessing your sites. It just depends on, your traffic and stuff. I'm not a let's go all full in on mobile kind of guy, because, some niches just don't serve well in mobile, while others do. So, obviously there is that factor there. But it's not as bad as everyone was talking about, or two indexes, and then the mobile one would get published first, and then that stuff will get changed, pushed down to the desktop one eventually. It's still one index, which is good. Now, it's bad if you're one of those lazy people or cheap bastards that didn't want to update your website and at least kick in responsiveness. But it's good if you're prepared for it already. And honestly, if you listen to me, Josh, or any other SEO for the last couple of years, you have a mobile friendly website already. You should already be kicked in the HTTPS for the most part. And then if you're using AMP, I don't know, God knows why, but if you're using AMP because you're an e-commerce store, e-commerce gets good conversions out of AMP, or an information-based kind of system that doesn't have a lot of call to actions, forms, and all that other stuff, then you go for AMP too. However, be aware that AMP is not considered as part of the mobile index. So if you have AMP, it doesn't matter. You have to have a mobile version of your website. So if you skip the mobile version and went straight to AMP, I don't know why you would do that, but you have desktop and then you went to AMP versus desktop mobile AMP, then you're going to have issues. You have to have a mobile version of your website. But that is what that is. Okay, let's get on with our case study here. And I think you guys should be pretty well caught up. I didn't do a whole lot more on this so far. This is Divi. It was pretty easy to build. As you see, I still have some content put in place, our strengths. I got to fill out this stuff here. Roofing is just playing with some of the styles that go along with this, and I got to fill this in with some more images and stuff. But it's pretty much built. That's weird. There was an image there. Yeah, I'll have to see what's going on with that. So the structure is there, the bones are there, and we're ready to go with that. I made the 2 pages, roof replacement and roof repairs. If you click on over here, roof repair is the page. You see roof repair, and then obviously roof replacement. I had to mess with categories a little bit. So you remember we were talking about redirecting those categories? If you click on this or hover it over it, you see that it's Paul Foster Roofing /category /roof repair. That actually redirects to the roof repair page, as you see, just like that. And then do the same thing with this roof replacement. Redirect. So when I do the posts, when I did those testing posts, we'll click over, the category was roof replacement, and then the test, right? And if I delete that, roof replacement right to my silo, right where I want it to be. Same thing here, testing roof repair is the category. Delete that. Boom, my silo right where I want it to be. It goes in here. There is no categories. Like technically there is no page showing all those categories. Archives I'll actually shut off down here in a little bit as part of cleaning up any duplicate content possibilities. WordPress just builds the stuff naturally. Google's kind of used to it by now, I'm sure, but I just don't want it. So I no index. I actually turn these all the way off, and then I'll no index the tags as well, just so I don't have archives and so I don't have tags, and my whole thing is based off of categories. That said, I'll use tags and primarily as part of what was I going to say? The internal search. So if someone wants to search roofing here, and then it'll bring up the tags for all the roofing. Use the tags for the search and bring up all the roofing pages, which is, that's pretty much what I want there. So, so you can see that structure is all built. Let me show you this in the back end and how I did it, just so you can play around with it. I warn you right off the bat, if you're going to do this, it's probably better to do it on a brand new site, like we did here. Don't upload any images yet, because you're going to naturally want to use the file names like roofing and roof repair inside of your file names. And then WordPress will claim that URL for that image, the direct URL. It'll say, forward.com/roofing, for example, for that image, if you don't have a page for it already. So you don't want it to be that. So create your pages first. You're going to go in here and create pages. So look at these. Roof repair, roof replacement. I'll just go ahead and add new. I'll do it right now. So we'll do roof installation was the other one that we were looking at. Did I spell it right? Installation. I'm a crappy speller, so you guys are just gonna have to deal with me verifying and make sure I did that right. Just how it gets. As you can see, I got a squirrely on this site. I'm actually going to test another plugin as well that I just found today, and we're going to try that one too later. I'm just doing that to get it in there, and I want to keep that URL. Roof installation. I screwed that up. All right, parent feature, roof installation. Yep. All right, I'm good. So there's roof installation. Now, go to posts, categories, roof installation, roof installation. Parent category is none. Then click add category. Now, if you hover over this, you're going to see it says Paul Foster Roofing /category /roof installation. I'm going to copy that link address. And then I want to find my redirection. I just picked this one out of random, so you guys can find anyone that you want. We know that's there. Roof installation, add redirect. Okay. And then we'll do a post to make sure it's good. We'll do testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember what we used before. Again, remember my site's no index, so you can do this publishing stuff and mess with it. As we go on, I'll actually turn on a couple of sharing plugins. Monarch is in here right now for social sharing, but we're going to install Snap Pro. I'll show you guys how to do that and what we're going to leverage it for later. But for right now, we can just, we can publish this stuff. It's not going to kill anything. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. It's good. So I want to view the post. All right. Roof installation. I'm going to click the category. Redirect it to my roof installation page. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam, bam, bam. Done. That's it. It's really that simple, guys. Don't overthink it. All you want to do, make your page first, make your category, redirect the category to the page. You can build out your entire structure that way. Menus, since those are our 3 primaries, we're going to go ahead and do this. Roof repair, installation, repair, replacement. There you go. So I just got it. I want to fix it. I just need a new one, damn it. And that flow works, I think, in the buying structure. That's really all we're going to need. And then down in here, we'll put our legal pages and stuff. But I haven't built those yet. We could probably do that next week. Maybe show you how to do that. Install the Snap plugin. And then we're going to probably, by that time, I'll be finalized on adding content in here. I'll do roof repair and roof replacement. So you guys might be able to see that this week as you go on your own. You'll just see how we kind of wrote it up, and we'll spit it out. This will be turned off. We don't need the sidebars. And then the video for next week will just show you why I did what I did with these other two, just so you can see my thought process as I go through it. So that should be pretty easy. Yeah, and Papa said, make sure you remember that last slash. What he's talking about is this slash right here, in case it doesn't work. So, yeah, like if you don't leave it and the redirect doesn't work, then try that out. Just look at it and make sure that trailing slash is there in your redirect plugin. Whatever plugin you use, whatever you're happy with. Read 301's a 301. If you're one of those ninja masters that can do it in HTXS, then go for it. I'm lazy, so I just use a plugin. That's just how I am. Yeah. But right. So if it doesn't work, make sure you check that out. If it's adding numbers, like you get roof installation 2, for example, and you're like WTF, and you don't have any more pages, it's your media file. So you need to go find the roof installation image in the media file and delete that. That's how you fix that one. And then also, if you make the categories first and then the pages, you also might get that too. You got to go back and delete the category, make the page, then remake the category. But that really shouldn't happen. But just in case, you'll be able to see it. And that's typically with WordPress here. Obviously, if you're building these out HTML yourself, then you don't have to worry about that stuff. You can do all the redirection and everything you need, or you wouldn't even need the redirection in this case. You'll just do it yourself. Do your build your silo the way it is. But that's how you do it with WordPress. All right, I think that's it. I don't want to waste a lot of your guys' time. Again, we missed the last couple of weeks, so I wanted to make sure we were straight for this week. Again, keep an eye on the site. I'll get the roof repair, roof replacement articles up, and then next week we'll look at how to optimize that post, where to find all the data to do it, and leverage it for the best opportunity we have. So if you guys don't have, or if you do have some questions, go ahead and drop them my way now. Use the chat. Otherwise, I think I'll keep this one short and sweet. I go to test a new indexing tool. We're going to see how Holly Stark's new indexing tool is working. And then she actually is part of that indexing tool sale. She sold a video on how to use XEvil, which is XRumors attached capture solver. Supposedly they did some great things with that. So I'm going to test that out today too. And on top of that, I can finally get to do some SEO and stuff now that that other project is over. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been doing SEO all day. It's actually nice. So hopefully we can do some more of that and carry this roof repair site somewhere good. So with that, Holly will break the internet one day. Yeah, she might. There's potential. Or she'll find some cool things. And, honestly, I see why she scales, because she can make that money really fast, but it does burn out methodologies really quick too. And she kind of has to find new ones, build income, find new ones, build income. My guess is if she slowed it down a little bit and focused a little bit more on the higher paying markets without going balls out, as it were, her methods will stick around a little bit longer. So, it's $99 for her indexer. We'll see how it works. If the XEvil thing kicks off, that's great, because I can use that with some of my SEO tools. Like I heard you can connect Seer to it fairly well. Using SEO Autopilot right now, so hopefully we can connect SEO Autopilot to that too and kind of save on the 2 captchas. And I think it's going to be good. And Phineas, thank you for continuing this series. Just joining you today. I have a similar product in motion. Awesome, great. I'm in a mastermind, and coincidentally enough, every one of the guys in our mastermind is making a roofing website. So just goes to tell you, I think we picked a really good niche. We didn't even talk to anyone about it. We just kind of did it. So I'm excited about it. I think the hang up we're going to have is when we start getting into map stuff and creating those. I do not foresee the ability of me being able to show you guys how to do that. That kind of sucks, but once you find a way to get maps going that is repeatable and consistent, you don't want to show it off because then Google might shut it down. And I think that's what our maps is going to run into for this. But that being said, I anticipate being able to show you how we're going to optimize those, rank those, build the supporting relevance pages for those based off of some of the stuff that Brian Willey is teaching in his maps agency black course. So hopefully I'll be able to give you enough, and then the verification of the map stuff you guys are going to have to unfortunately kind of figure out on your own. But there's a lot more smarter people than me on the maps thing, and I outsource a lot of that stuff. So I've made fake maps, but really just so much of a hassle. I just pay someone else to do it. And in this case, we're going to use because we're going to use this as PPL to do some lead gen stuff. I'll be able to make these using over-the-top SEO resources to get these maps made, and that'd be pretty cool. So, okay, any more questions? If there's no more questions, 30 minutes, just under 30 minutes actually. Probably my shortest show. I appreciate you guys coming back. I promise that I'll be way more consistent now. We got a new sales guy, got some more SEO. Was on my team now to support clients. That big project is over with. So right now we're looking at scaling and finding some new sales guys, etc. So that's going to be great. And what's the task extension? Oh, you mean this thing on the sidebar? This is part of Ghost. So the Ghost browser, I'm pretty sure you can get that as part of the free one. I have the pro version. Just because I thought I was going to use it for a whole lot more things, but the free really is probably going to be the best. Just think of if you have Browsio, this is essentially the baby version of Browsio if you want to. This doesn't keep all your cache stuff and all that stuff saved unless you tell it to, and typically I don't, but I like to use it so I can just pick a new session and jump into a new Google account right off the bat without having to mess with different things. So check this out. This is really handy, especially if you're using, if you're like me, I use the work Google account, then I have my own, and I have, a couple extras that I play with, and personas and all that madness. So this is really handy to have. So try that out. Okay. I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. And again, keep an eye on the website. You'll see me add all the content, format those posts and those pages, and we can go from there on how I do it, and then you guys can try it out on your own. So talk to you next week. Bye.